Alright guys, today we're doing some reversed seared scotch fillets, first smoking up to temp on our Zgrill, then reverse searing at the end. Let's get into it. Alright, today guys, I've got some scotch fillet steaks here that we're going to bring up to temp in our Zgrill pellet smoker, and then we're going to sear them at the end. So essentially what we're doing, reverse sear scotch fillets. Let's get into it. Alright, to start off, we're just going to go hit them with a little bit of olive oil over the top as our binder. Don't have to go too heavy with it. I'm going to flip them over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Like so. Righto. Next thing's next. We're going to season them up. Alright, for our seasoning, we're not going anything fancy today. Well, SPG. Salt, pepper, garlic is really all you need. You don't want rubs or seasonings that are going to, take away from the actual beef flavor. Unlike if you're cooking pork and you had like a sweet rub that enhances the flavor of pork. Don't get me wrong, salt, pepper, and garlic on pork chops works absolutely fine as well. And you don't really need to go too heavy with your salt, pepper, garlic seasonings at all. We're not seasoning every side. We're not making sure it's all covered. You just want a nice, as if you were just tipping seasoning over your steak as you would in a restaurant, if you so desire that way. All right, our steaks are seasoned up. Let's go and get our Zgrill fired up. Righto, so while we wait for our Zgrill to fire up to temp here, we've got it on the smoke setting. You've got a pellet smoker, your initial startup. Most of them will have a smoke setting or a startup setting. That's the obviously the setting you have it on when you start it up. Make sure the lid's open. I've seen some horrendous cases of people having the lid closed when they start their smoker up, their pellet smoker, should I say, and the whole lid has just blown off. So, yeah, a little bit of a safety tip. Doesn't always happen, but why risk it? So lid open. Once it comes up to temp, I reckon we're going to start off. We'll smoke at about 120 degrees and bring that steak up to a medium rare temp. Then we're going to take it over to our cast iron skillet, give it a sear on both sides, and she should be ready to eat. Righto, we're just going to use a wire rack and a foil tray to place our steaks on. Honestly, it just saves a little bit of mess on the actual grates of the pellet smoke in the long run. One of those work harder, not smarter type things. So there we go, placing our steaks onto the rack. Our Zgrill is just about up to temp, so let's go chuck them on. I will point out before I put them on, I'm going to shove a probe down here. And by rights, if I've cut them at the same thickness, when one's done, the other should be done. Righto, so as I said before, we're going to be bringing these steaks up to temp on about 120, or that's 250 degrees, or 120 Celsius, or that's 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We've just got a probe in one of them there, which is going to monitor our temperature here. So when it hits our medium rare temperature here, which I'm going to take it just before it gets to about 130 Fahrenheit, because we will gain a little bit more cooking time when we sear our steaks at the end. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. When we get to around the 125 mark, we'll take them off and we'll sear them. Righto, to sear these steaks, we've got a cast iron pan here. We've got our little portable gas stove. Tell you what, these bloody flies, southeast Queensland in the summertime, gotta love it. So, let's get our little gas stove fired up here. We're going on high temperature as well. Now, I'll be right back. I've got to get some olive oil. Righto, we're going to put a little bit of a drizzle of olive oil in there as well to help along our steak. Once this pan gets piping hot, we'll chuck on our steaks, reverse sear them each side, slice into them, and see how we did. We've got our pan searing hot, so let's go in with our first steak and sear this bad boy up. God, I love that sound. We're going to go about, we'll go 30, I reckon 30 to 40 seconds on each side. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. Flip it over, do the same on that side. Righto, moment of truth. Let's crack into this next one. Sensational. All right, it's time for a taste test. Righto, it all looks good, but how's it taste? That is some tender steak. Holy hell. No joke, this was better than the method I did yesterday on TikTok. The reverse swear. Holy crap. The reverse sear, I swear by it. That is some of the best steak I've made, I think. Not even one bit chewy. With that salt, pepper, garlic seasoning, the smoke from the pellet smoker, the char from the reverse sear, like, no joke. Usually I'd make like a chimichurri sauce. You really don't need any sauce. It sounds like a cliche, but a good steak doesn't need a sauce. It's not to say that it doesn't. Everyone's entitled to do what they want, but that is killer. My God. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.